Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike, and I just want to have a quick little chat with you about cylinders. So a lot of people getting started in 3D design, 3D animation make this mistake, and I made it very publicly in a tutorial with the last Blender video I did. So I just want to sort of redeem myself here. So what most people are going to do is they're just going to add a cylinder here. They're going to leave it at 32. You're going to say, okay, I want the top and bottom to be a little bit smoother, so let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier, add some loop cuts, make it real tight. And then they're going to see that the top and bottom look terrible. The shading is horrible, and they don't really know why. So what you do is you then have to select the top and the bottom, and they inset that, and that seems to fix most of the problems. We'll shade smooth, but this edge still looks kind of sharp, and so maybe we'll have to kind of maybe loosen that up a little bit, and now we can start to see some artifacts again. And it's not really until you apply this where you actually start to see what the problem is. So first of all, we've got a single point here with 32 some odd edges joining up into one point. This is going to cause pinching, and there's kind of no way around it. The other issue is you see what it caused is it caused all of these little triangles. So an uneven mesh. And then all of these are quads, 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, you're dealing with that single point and you're getting a bunch of pinching. What the big boys do is instead of adding more geometry, they instead actually reduce the number of geometry. So instead of going from 32 sides, they'll go to 8 sides. So 8 sides, kind of first glance, doesn't really make a ton of sense because you're still dealing with, at the end of the day, an n-gon at the top and the bottom. However, what you could do is if you select both of those faces, hit I to inset again. Now, just with this top one selected, I'm going to hit S to scale, 0 to scale to 0. I'm going to do the same with the bottom. So now what you see is now you have n-gons, but you have tris. There's something interesting about an 8-sided polygon is that you could actually join these faces by selecting 2 faces and hitting F. And now you actually have quad topology on the top and bottom, which is super useful. Now, one thing to avoid here is you notice that basically since I joined up all of these vertices in a single point, if you don't have auto merge vertices on, you're going to want to hit L on your keyboard to select all the vertices and then go to merge vertices by distance. That should solve some of your problems. Okay, so now I've got my loop cut at the top and I've got my loop cut on the bottom, and these are like control loops. So if I want to sharpen up or loosen up this edge, I'm going to be dealing with that control loop. But before we add a subdivision, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 loop cuts. And now I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier. So right off the bat, you could see that the geometry is much smoother. We're still getting that weird edge, but here's the real kicker. When you apply this, what you'll notice is that you actually maintain proper quad topology across the entire object, and you're getting geometry added where you intended it to be added. So you're getting the extra geometry on the edges here, but you're not getting extra added pinching and extra weird geometry at the tops and on the sides. All that extra geometry is just going to cause a bunch of shading artifacts. I'm going to just Control Z back here until just before we apply this. And here's the real reason why I had to actually learn proper topology. And it's because I tried to cut out a cylinder through the center of another cylinder. And when you have more than like 8 sides, it becomes very difficult to get proper smooth topology. So here's the way you actually want to do it. So you want to create a loop cut through the center. You want to select 1 on the keyboard and select your 2 vertices that you want to cut through. Now you want to hit Control Shift B, and using your scroll wheel, you want the one that looks like a star. Now I'm using a tool called Loop Tools, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these vertices, but deselect the center ones, and I'm going to hit Circle. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a circle from the vertices that I had selected. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit of issue here with the rotation. That sort of kind of cleans itself up after you apply the subdivision surface modifier, but I just rotate it into place. So next thing, I'm gonna hit 3 on the keyboard so I could select all of these faces. And I'm gonna hit I on the keyboard to inset. So now I have a control loop around this hole that I could use to control the sharpness of the edge around our cutout. But I could just go ahead and delete these faces. And with the F2 add-on applied, edit preferences, add-ons F2, make sure you have that applied. I could select 2 edges and hit F on the keyboard, and that will create a face between those 2 edges. I'm just gonna select this edge now and just hit F until we go all the way around the entire object. I'm gonna add 2 more control loops, and I'm gonna scale them up until they're close to the edge. And you can see here now that we have a cylinder cut out of another cylinder. One thing you'll probably notice is that you do get this sort of protruding effect. And that has to do with, well, there's a few reasons why that is. The first reason is, you notice that this is 5-sided, this is 5-sided. All around here are 5-sided. So that's one thing that we can do to fix this. The other thing is that when you added that extra geometry, it actually sits outside of that initial face. So let's just try to address these. So I'm gonna hit K on the keyboard, and I'm just going to select those points, and I'm just going to cut this into quads. So you see that that's a quad and that's a quad. So what I'm doing is I'm just hitting K, selecting those 2 points, and then hitting enter to apply that cut. Okay, so let's see how this looks now. We're still getting some protrusion, but it's not nearly as much as it was before. Maybe it is, it's hard to tell, but our shading is a lot better. And let's apply this actually and take a look, and we could just see our beautiful quad topology around those 2 cylinders. You could do this by hand, but I think achieving this is gonna be very difficult. So I'm just gonna hit Control Z, and let's see if we can't work to bring these vertices back into alignment. This might be a fool's errand. I've never done this before. Normally I'm just fine with it being a little wonky on the edges. But this time we'll try it out. All right, so you can see that it did clean it up a little bit. We might have some weird wonky geometry in the center, but that actually looks pretty good. And most of the time, this circle is cut out into a rod. So you have another rod intersecting, and from a distance, it looks pretty good. And of course, you get proper quad topology, so your shape will be shaded properly. Anyways, guys, that's just a few tips on cylinders in Blender or in whatever 3D program you're using. If you want to see more videos, give this video a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.